is it back? Like after 2018, the crypto winter, based on your experience, enthusiasm, are people ready to go at it again? Is it real?
Well, what I think might be happening is an anticipation of a coming supply shock in 2020. So what we're looking ahead to is a halvening event. The way that new Bitcoin is introduced to the market is through a process called mining, and the mining reward decreases by half every few years. And so in 2020, we'll have much less of a daily supply of Bitcoin than we do now. We'll have half less. And so while we're looking ahead to the halvening event and the supply shock, we're also seeing a greater demand for Bitcoin and new on-ramps from more familiar and conventional sources. So there's an anticipation that there'll be a broader group of consumers that have access and appetite for Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has sort of proved itself as, well, whether it's a store of value is to be argued, but it deemed a store of value, a digital gold as such. However, there's always still the scaling problem that surrounds Bitcoin. Indeed, it surrounds Ethereum as well, one of the key crypto, well, whether you say it's rivals, but other cryptos out there. And is this in any way being changed, and will we ever see it as a means of purchasing, or is it always going to be a kind of digital gold?
Well, in terms of scaling, that's actually one of the most exciting progressions of Bitcoin over the past year and a half or so. In 2019, we're actually seeing higher layer infrastructure development rapidly progressing. And so by that, what I mean is the development of Lightning Network and the quick adoption from an early user set of Lightning Network, as well as entrepreneurs building on top of Lightning Network. And so that will provide scale and has already. We're looking at the introduction of sidechain technology, including Blockstream's Liquid Network, which gives us a new breadth and depth of use cases of the blockchain. And then finally, advancements happening at Bitcoin's core protocol level, things like Schnorr or Taproot and 2017's introduction of SegWit, all help us with the issue of scaling and allow us to see greater volume and a greater variety of use case of the technology and infrastructure itself.
Talk to me about the distinction between Bitcoin and then the underlying technology of blockchain. So sometimes I hear that Bitcoin's in a bubble, but it relays Ethereum or some of the other blockchain technologies that actually have room to last for 10 years, sure, besides being just a fad. What makes you excited about an investment in Bitcoin?
Well, so Bitcoin's differentiated, was the first blockchain, and Bitcoin, of course, is associated with the Bitcoin blockchain. So each cryptocurrency has a different and unique blockchain. Bitcoin is still the dominant leader in the field. It's 55% of the total market cap of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. But what's exciting and I think most uniquely differentiating about the Bitcoin blockchain is its level of stability, security, and dependability. So what we mean by that in terms of stability is Bitcoin's uptime. Is it available to use? Is the infrastructure ready for entrepreneurs and for users? And Bitcoin has had 99% uptime over the past 10 plus years. We also know that Bitcoin is quite secure, and that sets it apart from other protocols. There's never been an exploit at the core protocol level. And then finally, it's dependable. And so by that, what I mean is that the value that it offers to us is consistent. And so we know what to expect, and we know how developers are prioritizing the maintenance and upgrades.
Talk to us about investing in companies that are within the cryptocurrency ecosystem, because there's some companies that have obviously done well that are like exchanges or direct on-ramps. And then there's other kind of companies that have envisioned use cases for crypto that haven't really panned out. Payments, retail has all been kind of mediocre. When you look at the kind of companies that excite you in the space that could actually contribute positively to the ecosystem, what areas do you think are interesting?
Right. So what's most important is that a company's business model and value proposition aligns with what the infrastructure can service. And so you referenced that we've seen great success from exchanges and on-ramps, and indeed we have. In 2018, in Q4, we saw multiple companies raising at unicorn valuations from those fields, for instance. But we've also seen failures in the space when the business model didn't match the stage of the infrastructure itself. So whereas merchant payment processors, for instance, might make make sense when you have higher layer infrastructure and greater scale through that higher layer. They didn't maybe make sense in 2013 or 14 in a pre-SegWit environment or in a pre-Lightning Network environment. And so when we're looking at companies and at founders, we're really asking the question of, are they building for the infrastructure that's in place today and anticipating future upgrades?
At this point, are there any other coins that you feel confident will last?
Well, I expect that we'll see protocols that serve other unique purposes. I think that in terms of store of value as a proposition, that Bitcoin is today and will be in the future the cryptocurrency that addresses that need, and other protocols may serve other purposes.